Shalom. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to GMS, and also to the double honors to GMS, and also to the Akim, the elders of GMS, and also to the Akim pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the world. And also to the speckled birds, or the Israelite foreigners, spread throughout the four corners of the world, often looking like those nations, but are actually of the seed line and bloodline of Jacob. I say unto you, Shalom. And this is a video, before I get into the scripture related to what I'm talking about. My uncle, who is deceased, passed away in 2017, told me that here, where I'm living here in California, in the Bay Area, there was, in the early 70s, there were some killings called the zebra killings. And it was apparently, I guess, these black men who were killing people, whether it was taxi drivers or whatever, various people sporadically. They really didn't have no specifically targets. The only targeted, this was no revenge killings, or these were no killings for robbery. It was just basically seemed racially motivated, because all the people that were getting killed were not black. And they called them the zebra killings because I think the suspects were black. And he remembers those times because he was driving one day during this time, and he got pulled over. And when he got pulled over, every black, and apparently he wasn't the only one. Every black man, almost every black man, in the city, or not every black man, but I mean a huge percentage of black men in the city were getting pulled over. And they would check you out. If you checked out, they would give you a card to say that if you ever get pulled over again, that you've been checked and that you've been cleared and you're all right, and you don't fit the profile of any of the suspects that are involved in these crimes. And every black person, every black male was a suspect until, I think they finally caught him, and then, everything subsided, but it left the impact for a while, of course. I brought up that story to say that not just black males, and not just located in this city, in this state of the Bay Area, but nationwide in this country, or worldwide. But I'm living in America, so I'm talking about basically in America. If that were to happen again, in these days, we probably would be getting handed, instead of cards, you'd be getting chipped. And all the information would be on the chip and won't be on a card. And if you refused, what then? That's where we're headed. And in Scripture, Revelations chapter 13 and 16 talks about both small and great. Whether you're poor or whether you're wealthy, whether you're well known or whether you're not, nobody knows who you are, will receive a mark in their forehead and hands. Yeah. That's coming. And it's going to have to take a wide a wide scare, a wide scale scare or catastrophe like the zebra killings back in the 70s to create hysteria for them to implement certain draconian actions to do so. Actions like that. You know, back then they were pulling over every black man they saw and gave him a card. Now they're gonna be pulling over. If that was to happen nowadays, they'd be pulling over and chipping people. So there's something to think about. And in Acts chapter 17 and 29, it talks about this mark. And the mark you will receive, the people who receive this mark, is basically showing allegiance. How it's showing allegiance. It's a symbol. That you have allegiance to this, as the Bible says, this beastly system. This beastly system of government. And that you're a willing participant and you accept the terms. How they sign something, you're in agreement, and before you sign the agreement, and then at the bottom you have to check, I am in agreement with these terms. You check the box, yes, and he won't let you. You can't you can't close the window unless you mark that box. It won't let you complete the process. And then when you do, you can go on and complete the process. That's what Acts 17:29 talks about, this mark. You can't complete the process without having allegiance. You can't pay for this. You can't pay for your bills. You can't pay for your food. You can't go to the store. You can't do anything, buy or sell. So, something to think about. And that's where we're headed. And without the Most High's covering, there's no way out of this, as far as on a personal level. That's the only protection you have, only covering you have. So that's all I have right now. Until next time, Shalom.